Hello my dear students, welcome to computer science class. In our previous video classes, we have seen few topics of the control statements, that is the nested if format 2, and then we have already started with the switch statement. And I think we have already discussed with a few programs related to the switch statement. So before I proceed with the further programs related to the switch statement, let us have a quick glance on what is switch statement, how is the general syntax and the flowchart works. Now this switch statement is usually being referred as multiple branch selection statement. So why it is called as multiple branch selection statement? Because it allows this particular given expression to evaluate against the list of integer constants. Okay, it allows this expression to get evaluated against this set of integer constant, or you can also refer them as the character constants. So as and when the match has been found, okay, then this particular statement, set of statement associated with this particular case will be executed. So therefore we refer the switch statement as multiple branch selection statement. We have also seen few of the rules related to the switch statement, that each case has to be enclosed under this curled braces. Am I right? So after the given word as a case here, a space should be given, then followed by that is a label or the constant, and then it should be followed by the colon. Okay, that is, and again then while executing, depending upon this particular label or the constant, the corresponding statements will be executed. Suppose for example switch expression, suppose if I have the expression here is 1 and this expression will be evaluated with against each case label. So here also expression 1, here also the case label is 1 only. If it is matches, so on matching this particular set of statement will be executed. And one more thing is very important, that every case should have the break statement, isn't it? Suppose, now what is the use of these break statement? Break statement, it is used to terminate the corresponding case. Suppose if I don't include any break statement here, then it will execute not only matching, but it will execute the rest. Suppose for an example, here 1 I have, here the label 1, so match will be found, and here the statement 1. Suppose if I don't include break here, irrespective whether the match is there or no, the label 2, case 2 also statement will be executed. Here again if you don't include break, again case 3. Like that, actually to terminate each case, it shouldn't execute, right? Only the related case should be executed. For that, to terminate this particular case, we are including the break statement. Now here is a flow chart. So since this is an expression, this is a condition, we are using the rhombus here. So is expression, so label 1, label 2, label 1, label 2 are nothing but the case 1, case 2, case. Writing this label is an optional, just directly case space 1 and then followed by colon and then particular statement. I think in my previous video classes we have seen this programming example. Now let us just have a quick glance on this. Now program to display a day number in a week using switch statement. Now let us consider the day number. Okay, now like for example, enter the day number of the week. I have entered the value as a 6. I have entered it as 6. In that case what happens? So 6 is there in the variable known as day number. Switch off 6 because the variable will replace with the actual value, isn't it? So 6 will be there. So 6 and case 1 will get matched here. Whereas 6 and 1 is it? Now this I can call it as a label, or I can call it as an integer constant. So case followed by a space, then followed by the integer or the label name, which should be always a type of integer, or it should be a character. It cannot have floating point. Okay, you can, instead of 1, case A, case B also you can have, followed by colon and then followed by the statement, and then each case should terminate with, end with the break statement. So here what happens? Match 6 and 1 doesn't match, so this case will be skipped. Again the control comes here. Okay, 6 and 2 doesn't match, skip. 6 and 3 doesn't match, 6 and 4 doesn't match, 6 and 5 doesn't match, 6 and 6 match. So when 6 and 6 matches, then the set of statement related to this case will be executed, and then what I get is output as Friday. After this particular statement, the control encounters the break statement. When it encounters the break statement will completely terminate this particular case. It will come out of this particular switch statement. In fact, the control comes here to the closing bracket. After the closing bracket, what we have is the get ch. That means what? This break is terminating the entire this loop. This is loop in the sense what? This is a curled braces. I can say this is one of the set of statement or the loop. So this break statement, it terminates this particular loop and the control actually comes out of the loop. Understood? Now suppose for an example, if I have entered the day number as 11, I have entered the day number as 11. So when it comes to 6 also doesn't match, 7 also doesn't match. In case any of the case doesn't match, means automatically the control comes always to the default statement. If none of the cases doesn't match, then default statement will be executed and it will print me as an output. What I can see is invalid number. Understood? Again it encounters break. So this break will terminate this switch case and the control comes out of this particular curl braces. After this particular curl braces, definitely it is the get ch. Okay, I hope you are able to understand. Suppose if the match is found, the particular case will be executed. If match is not found, definitely the default statement is executed. Now, suppose if as I said, I have entered the day number as 6. Now the match has been found, so I got the output as Friday. But once the match is found, only this particular case will be executed. Control will never execute the default statement. Default statement will be executed only when none of the cases matches. Then only the default. Otherwise, if any one case matches, only that particular set of statements will be executed and control jumps out of this particular switch statement. I hope children you are able to understand. Now here I'll give an example. The usage of switch statement. Now let us consider this programming segment. I'll not call this as complete program since I have written only the logic here. I can refer this as a program segment. Now let me consider j value to be as 1. Okay, and I have taken what? Switch of j. That means switch of expression. Now this is a given expression. J in the sense j is holding what value? That is 1. Now case, this is here, case label or a constant we can have it. Case 1, if it is matches, then I should print it as 1. Suppose if doesn't match, if it is the entered value, if it is 2, then if 2 matches, then it should print me 2 and then followed by 3. If none of the case doesn't match, it should give me as a default, it will have to execute and then it should give me the output as invalid number. Now here as it is 1 here and 1 matches. Therefore, I'll be able to see the output as ONE1. Only this is what I will get the output. After that, this particular statement, control comes to the next statement, that is break. What is the functionality of break? It causes the immediate exit from the switch structure. That means this break statement causes the immediate termination of this switch statement. Means control actually from here to outside the switch flower bracket, here it comes. That means control actually jumps to the next statement. That is what is it actually terminates the switch structure and control goes to the next statement. This is what I wanted to say, the usage of how the break statement, and this is how you are able to write the switch structure. Switch followed by an expression, and expression should be always enclosed under the parenthesis. Now moving on to here, you can see, so therefore I can see the output as 3 here. I have entered the number, j value I have entered as 3. So when I execute this program, I will get an output as THREE. Suppose if I have entered the j value as 3. If I had entered as 1, I will get it as 1. Or if I had entered as 2, I will get 2. Now look at this program segment the same way. I have taken assuming the value of a to be as 2 here. And switch of 2. I have just given, actually I should write here switch of a actually. So for your understanding purpose, directly I have replaced with the value here. So switch of 2. Okay. So here 2 and 1 for your understanding I have written, otherwise I should have written here A actually. So 2 and 1 doesn't match. I hope you are able to understand now at least. So these variable will actually replace with their values, understood? So A is actually replaced with its value, therefore it is showing here it as 2 here I have written for your understanding. 2 and 1, this case label doesn't match, so this particular case will be skipped. Instead here it comes. So when it comes here, look at here, the 2 and here 2 label matches. Therefore what is the statement associated with this will execute. After that, can you see whether I have written break? Break I didn't write. Instead, when I don't write the break, control will jump to the immediate, the next statement it will jump, and again it will try to print the value here as 3. Understood? And again the control goes to the next statement. What is the next statement? Next statement is closing bracket. Then it will understand that it has reached the end of the switch statement. And again after this, control goes to the next statement if it is present. So now since here it is not present, you can see. But actually as per 2 I have written, I should have got the answer only as TWO. But since break I have not written, I got the output as 2 as 3, whereas this output is wrong actually, isn't it? Therefore, what is the use of this particular break statement? Break statement, it causes the immediate exit from the switch statement. That means after 2, if I have written the break, it immediately brings that control out of the switch statement. Only the case related to this particular expression should have been executed. It should have been printed as an output statement as TWO, that is 2. I hope you are able to understand. So this is how the switch statement actually works. Now moving on to that is iteration statements, very important. So till now we have discussed all about the selection statement, that was simple if statement, and then a simple if is being used whenever you want a particular set of statement to be executed based upon the true condition, isn't it? So, and then we have also seen the if else statement. Suppose if I want the two possibilities, okay, either I want to execute certain set of statements depending upon the condition whether true or false. If I want alternative to be executed, alternative statements, then I can go for if else. Now what if I have more than two possibilities to execute depending upon the condition? Then I could have gone for the format 1 of nested if, or I could have chosen the format 2 of nested if statement. Understood? Then suppose if I want multiple branching selection statement, if I want multiple choices, then you can go for the switch case. Okay, so these were all we have discussed about the selection statement. Now moving on to the iteration statement. What is this actually iteration statement? If your program demands to repeat certain set of statements certain number of times depending upon the condition, then such statements are usually being referred to as an iteration statement, or iteration can also be renamed it as an loops also we can say. Okay, iteration statement can also be referred to as an loops. Very important definition, that is what is loops. Okay, loops is nothing but they are already a set of statements only that allows for repeated execution of set of instructions until certain condition is been satisfied. That means what? Until the condition is true, a set of statements keeps on repeating. Once the condition is false, the set of statement repetition will be stopped and the control moves to the next statement. Here the condition might be predefined or the post-defined. Now what is predefined and post-defined? Let me explain when I will be explaining about while and do while statements. Okay, and what is the purpose of having the loops is, it is the purpose is to repeat the set of statement or the statement. Statement is single, set of statement means more than one statement. So therefore I can refer it as set of statement until the certain number of condition is fulfilled. Now here in how we had in selection statement 4 different types we have. No, same way in iteration statements also. We have 3 different looping structure. The first is while loop, the second one we are having is the do while loop, and the third one we are having is the for loop. Now let us discuss about what exactly the while loop is. Okay, a very important one. from your exam point of view. So this while structure is being usually referred as an pre-tested looping structure. Okay, this while loop we refer it as a pre-tested looping structure. What do you mean by pre-tested? Means before executing the set of statements or a set of, this is a single statement and these are having more than one statement, no, therefore I refer this one as set of statement. Before executing these set of statement, first the condition is being tested, therefore it is being said as pre-tested looping structure. If this condition is satisfying, then the actually control comes to execution of these statements. If the condition doesn't satisfy, the control will automatically goes to the next statement which is present here. So before executing these statements, we are testing the condition, therefore we call it as pre-testing looping. Before execution you are testing the condition, therefore it is said to be as pre-testing looping structure. Okay. What is the main purpose of using this while loop is, this statement actually repeats the execution of set of statements while the condition is true. As I said, like this we have three different types again. While you may use, do while you may use, or you may also go for the for statement. When I explain with the programming examples, children, you can clearly understand. Now before to that, let us look at the general syntax of while loop. Now here is this while condition followed by the test condition. So in our previous examples, if and if else, we were writing just the simple condition. Here also you can just, even instead of writing test condition also, while in the bracket, even if you write only condition is also fine. Followed by it condition should be always enclosed in the, that is round brackets here, and then if satisfying this condition, if it is satisfying, then the statement 1 will be executed. Understood? Now similarly here, okay, while test condition, this is only works when we have more than one statement, that is we can also refer it as a block or the compound statement. Here the first condition is being tested. If this particular condition is true, then this set of statements are executed inside the loop. I can refer this as a loop. Okay, if this condition is satisfied, then the set of statements inside this particular loop are executed. After that, again that condition is being tested. Once again, if the condition is true, again this set of statements will be executed. So this process keeps on continuing until this particular condition becomes false, and once this given condition false, the control goes to the next statement of the loop. Now let me explain with the flowchart here. Yes, look at the flowchart. If this given condition, if it is true, then the statement 1 is executed, statement 2 up to the statement n it is executing. That means what? It is complete loop. Okay. Once the statement n is executed, again it goes for the repetition. You can see the symbol here. The loop repeats. Again the loop will be get repeated here. Once the loop is been repeated, again the test condition will be tested. Again if the condition, if it is true, again these set of statements will be, executed. Like this process keeps on continuing until this condition becomes false. Once the condition becomes false, automatically the control goes to the next statement. I hope children you are able to understand. So this while loop is very important. They will be asking for 5 marks. So explain briefly the while condition, while structure. In that case you should write what is while loop, why it has been called as pre-tested looping, okay, why it has been used, and write the general syntax and draw this particular flow chart and do explain these points whatever I have explained just now, and then followed by any one of the programming examples. Understood? Okay, let me come to the example here. Here I have just taken a simple program segment. I didn't write the entire program. So let us understand this first so that you can clearly understand the program. Now I have taken a variable known as count, wherein I have initialized with a value as 1, and since it is an integer, the data type I have taken as here as int. Understood? Now while, so WHILE, it should be lowercase. Remember always the conditions. Okay, keywords should be always been written in the lower case. While, do while, okay, for, if else, all these are nothing but the keywords. You can open the list of keywords and see in the introduction to C++. So all these are the keywords. I cannot use them as the variable names. Keywords cannot be used as an identifiers. We have seen this particular rule. Okay, while followed by the condition, or you can even refer it as a test condition. What is test condition? Count should be less than or equal to 5. Now this is a variable, am I right? Whenever I refer to the variable, always it gets replaced with its value, children. So while count is less than or equal to 5, in the sense while 1 is less than or equal to 5. Whether 1 is less than or equal to 5 here, children? Yes, my condition is true. Remember, the next statements, whatever you are writing soon after the while, are said to be as the true statements, true part of this particular while condition. So, whether 1 is less than or equal to 5, yes, the condition is true. Once this condition is true, whatever the set of statements are there within this particular loop, I can refer it as loop. Instead of curled braces, I can refer this as loop. So the statements which are enclosed within this loops will get executed. Now what is this particular statements are? Cout, set W. Set W is what? To set the width in the output statement. Am I right? To use this particular set W, it belongs to which header file? That is IOMANIP. Understood? So set W of 4, and then what I am printing? I am printing the value of count, and then followed by I am incrementing the count. Yes or no, children? I am incrementing the count. Now this is what is post increment. Okay, now what happens, you see here, count is equal to, I have written the tracing here, the first iteration, what happens during first iteration. Now this condition will keeps on repeating until the condition becomes false. When the condition will become false? When count becomes 6. Whether 6 is less than equal to 5, then the condition is failed. So until that, these set of statements will keeps on iterating, or it keeps on repeating. Understood? Therefore, we have to use the iteration statement for such conditions, that is while condition. So look at here, count value is initially 1. I have just replaced the variables with its value. For the first iteration, while 1 is less than or equal to 5, yes, the condition is true. After that, what I am printing? I am printing the value of count. So that time the count value will be what? It is 1. Soon after that, I am incrementing the value. Isn't it? It's a, whether is it a children pre-increment or it's a post-increment? It is what it is? It is actually the post-increment, isn't it? So here what happens? The count gets incremented. Now the count value, it will become what? It will become what? 2 here, because I am incrementing this count value. So plus plus means it is always increased by only 1. Am I right? So here what happens? So count value will become 2. After that, second iteration it comes. When it comes for the second, after that what happens? Count becomes 2 now. Now count value will become 2. Again the repetition takes place. Again it repeats. Okay, now this time what is the count value? Count value is 2 here. Next, whether 2 is less than or equal to 5? Yes, the condition is true. If this condition is true, again the control enters into the loop. So again you are leaving the space. Set W is to set the width. Can you see here output? How many width I am setting? 4 width. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. After that it is printing. After again count it will print. What is the right now? What is the value of count? That is 2. So 2 will be printed. So 2 will be printed here. And again count plus plus. That means we are incrementing the value of count. Now the count value will become what? 3. Understood? Again the loop repeats. Okay. For the third one, what happened? Count value will be 3. While 3 is less than or equal to 5, yes, the condition is true. If so, print the value of count, that is 3. It is printed here. So before printing, always it is setting the width. First actually it comes here, set W. So it leaves the 4 spaces and then it is printing. After printing, control goes to the very next statement. Again you are incrementing the count value. Now the count value will become what? It becomes as 4 it becomes. Am I right? Again the loop repeats. Now look at this one. Now count value is 4. Whether 4 is less than or equal to 5 children. Yes, the condition is true here. If this condition is true, again it enters into the loop. Again set W, so it will set the width 4 space, and again the count value will be printed here as 4. That's what each iteration I have explained here, 4. After that again count value will be incremented. Now the count value will become what children? Count value is 5 now. So after that, add the fifth iteration. What are the iteration in the sense? Repetition. Understood? Add the fifth iteration, count value will become again what? 5. Whether 5 is less than or equals to. Less than it is not, but it is equals to, right? So whether 5 is less than or equals to 5. Yes, the condition is true because it is equals to. Then again 5 it will print here. 5 it will print. Okay, first it will set the width and 5 will be printed. Again the count value gets incremented. When the count value gets incremented, it's become 6. Now coming to the count value as 6 here, again the repetition happens. Whether 6 is less than or equal to 5. Condition fails children. Once the condition has been failed, what happens? Control will not make an entry into the loop. In fact, the control goes to the next statement what is there. Control comes out of this particular loop and the control goes to the jumps to the next statement. So what is there in the next statement? In the next statement we have the printing statement as end of loop. So therefore the end of loop will be printed. I hope you are able to understand. Therefore, what is this while it is called as? It is called as pre-tested looping structure. Why it is called as pre-tested looping structure? Before the repetition of the set of statements, first the condition is been tested earlier. First condition test, and then if satisfied the set of statements will be executed. So the condition is been tested first. Therefore, we call it as a pre-tested looping structure. Now why we call it as looping structure? Because this statement, this while statement, it actually repeats the execution of these particular set of statements depending upon the condition, and it keeps on looping. It keeps on looping or it keeps on repeating until the condition is satisfied. Therefore, we refer this while loop as a looping structure. Whereas in case of simple if, okay, if else, nested, they were not repeating. They were just executing the set of statements depending upon the execution. So if condition is satisfying, only once it was executing the set of statements. But here the while and the further do while or the for loop, whatever we are going to discuss, they keeps on making the set of statements to be repeatedly executing continuously depending upon this particular condition. If it is true, set of statements will be executed, and every time these statements are being executed, but every time this condition will be tested first. So on satisfying only, it makes an entry into this particular statements. If the condition doesn't satisfy it, automatically the control goes to the next statement. I hope children you are able to understand the concept of why we are using the while looping structure. So in our further videos with a few more examples, programming examples, we have the numbers to print in descending order and to find the sum of digits in a given number. So these two programs we shall discuss under the while looping structure. Till that, take care of yourself students. Thank you.